And tonight, Padres in town to take on your Buccaneers. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Pirates Baseball. So glad you're watching with us, along with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. It could be a day of giving. The Pirates hoping to give the Padres a loss.
Absolutely, yeah. They're back home where they've played better all year after a very, very difficult road trip. The last homestand of the season. Hope they can butter up that home record.
Well, Charlie Morton is the guy who has to be the architect of it. The right-handed pitcher looking to stay on track.
Yeah, he's making his 16th start. He's shown some bits and pieces of what we're hoping to see on a regular basis. His last 4 starts, he's done a good job in 3 of the last 4, but he's going to have to show the Pirates that he is deserving of being their starting rotation, and he's going to be challenged tonight by a lot of left-hand hitters who have done good work against Charlie Morton, especially this guy. Adrian Gonzalez has had a monster year for the Padres, so that could be an interesting matchup to watch.
On the hill for Bud Black's Padres is Tim Stauffer. Stauffer, a right-hander, just called up on the 11th of July. Has not had a lot of experience at the big league level, but he'll be the one to go tonight.
Yep, 3-1. He's done a good job in his brief stay with the Padres so far.
It is Roberto Clemente Day of Giving here at PNC Park as we honor the great one of the greatest ball players and ambassadors the game has ever seen. We're counting down to the first pitch. It's the Padres and the Pirates next. Roberto Clemente Day of Giving on this Friday. The Padres and the Pirates getting set for game 1 of their series. Paul Mulholland, who is the Pirates nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award nationally, and it's such a prestigious award.
It really is, Tim. It has a lot of meaning for me personally because it represents the legacy of this great baseball player that was so multi-dimensional. Not just a baseball player, but a humanitarian. He had awareness of principle and human dignity. The multi-layered aura of Roberto Clemente still remains.
And Paul Mulholland, very active in the Gilda's Club here in the Strip District area of downtown Pittsburgh.
Paul should be very proud of what he's done, and recipient of this Clemente Award. Every club has a Roberto Clemente nominee, and they're awarded the main one during the World Series.
Well, let's take a look at Bud Black's starting lineup for the Padres against Charlie Morton and the Bucs, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The youngster, Everett Cabrera, Leading off, David Eckstein, Adrian Gonzalez, 35 or more home runs in consecutive seasons. Only got to do that for the Pods. Chase Headley at third, batting cleanup. Will Venables in right field. Drew Macias in left. Nick Hundley behind the plate. Tony Gwynn Jr. in center field. And the pitcher, Tim Stauffer, bats ninth against Charlie Morton. Defensively for the Pirates, Lastings Millage, Andrew McCutcheon, and Brandon Moss. Getting the start in right field tonight, Neil Walker, a last-minute replacement at third base. Andy LaRoche out sick tonight, and Ryan Domet behind the plate catching Charlie Morton.
He makes his 16th start of the year. Talking before the ball game, his last 4 starts, 3 of them have been much better. One glitch in the middle there, but the overall numbers for Charlie, and he continues to audition, to be quite honestly, for a spot in the Pirates starting rotation in 2010. And he's not the only one. I think Kevin Hart very much in that category also.
First pitch of the ball game, Cabrera takes a strike. Well, 0-1 to Everett Cabrera, youngster who has burst on the scene with San Diego. A Rule 5 pick this past December. The Colorado Rockies had him in Single A. They left him unprotected. And general manager Kevin Towers of the Padres liked the kid, didn't know what he'd do. He'd never played above the Single A level until this year, and he has worked himself into the everyday shortstop position in San Diego.
And he can fly too. 23 stolen bases out of 28 attempts, so keep him off the base paths.
He is a switch hitter, batting left-handed. He hits this one to the right field wall. And Cabrera on the run. He'll stop at second with a leadoff double. The 16th double of the year for Everett Cabrera. Came up on the 19th of June and has played 88 games. You see the numbers, 263 plus what he just did there.
That's pretty good work coming up from Single A last year. Rockies probably wondering about their talent evaluation. See, it's a tough call to evaluate these people. You know, everybody's so critical of the Pirates with talent evaluation, but it's not the easiest thing to do. It's hard to look at a young man and see how he's going to project in a year or two, how he's going to develop, how he's going to mature, or if he's going to mature.
There's a veteran, David Eckstein. That one gets away from Domet, but Cabrera unable to move up.
Don't get careless with this young man at second base, because he's kind of playing with house money right now. Whatever he does for the next couple of weeks is a bonus on top of what he has achieved by getting here and succeeding.
Well, you get back to that talent evaluation, Steve, and the fact that a player like that was available at Single A who jumps to the major league level and is a regular starter. It's a tough problem to have if you're a GM when you have that kind of talent that you have to leave unprotected come the Rule 5 draft in December.
Yeah, and you know, this is Single A. He's not a Double A, Triple A, one of those blue chip guys that way up the top of the heap. From Single A, it's hard to project. And they're therefore difficult to make your decision on whether to protect or not.
Eckstein will take another.
Well, David Eckstein, according to my calculations, just one of 3 right-hand bats, and lefties are hitting .347 against Charlie Morton, and the guy in the on-deck circle is ringing the bell against everybody, but especially right-hand pitchers. Adrian Gonzalez.
2-1 is bunted in fair territory. Domet will go down to first, and down to third. Everett Cabrera on the play. So 1 out, and the Padres with a runner at third base.
So now what do the Pirates do with this very dangerous Adrian Gonzalez? Well, maybe the Padres are thinking if they were going to walk him, they'd walk him with a runner at second just as easily as a runner at third. So they get him over to third base, and on we go.
If Eckstein gets that one out on the grass a little bit, he's flirting with a base hit. But he gets the job done for San Diego, moving the runner over. And here is Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez has improved his home run total every single year, and he's done it again this year. 6 major league seasons. He's gone from 1 to 6 to 24, and this will get the run in. As he gets a sacrifice fly to center field. Cabrera scores to make it 1-0 Padres.
Well, pitch upstairs that good hitters can certainly get out of the infield. That a breaking ball that didn't look all that high, but Gonzalez was able to measure it and looked like effortlessly sent it out to center field. It was a decent curveball, just wasn't a great curveball. And if you're going to throw a breaking ball, you've got to miss downstairs.
So 1-0 Padre lead. Here's Chase Headley. He takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Headley takes outside.
More damage in the first inning. That has been an ongoing problem for the Pirates. To me, the key innings this whole season, you take an overview, the first and the sixth. The first because of opponents scoring, the sixth because of Pirate pitchers getting at or near that 100 pitch level and maybe tiring a little bit, breaking down a little bit in the 6th inning. So first innings and 6th innings. Part of the Pirate story in 2009.
One and 2 to Headley. Two balls, 2 strikes.
You remember from Blazing Saddles, it's not Heady, it's Headley.
I remember a few things from Blazing Saddles.
Harvey Korman's character.
None of which we can repeat.
Headley Lamar.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
There's your numbers, verification of what the left-handers have done against Charlie.
And the payoff. And this one to left field, and Headley's got a base hit. A 2-out single for Chase Headley, switch hitting cleanup man. That'll bring up Will Venable. So Headley aboard.
Another lefty and Will Venable. And keep an eye on Headley. Again, we see this so often. Things quiet down after the sacrifice fly. Nothing much happening. You get a guy on. He's stolen 9 bases. Would he take off and try to get something cheap here in the first inning?
So the double by Cabrera, a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly, and it's 1-0. That's where we stand at this point. It's the 97th time the Pirates have given up a run in the first inning. It's one of the things that both Kevin Hart and Charlie Morton have been trying to do lately, and that's get a clean inning right off the bat.
And on top of that, you got a human sacrifice working with those, the bunt and the fly ball. One way to get it across. Small manufacturing project for the Padres.
Human sacrifice?
Well, yeah, by Eckstein and Gonzalez.
And Headley back. So Will Venable, son of Max Venable, at the plate. Will getting a lot of regular time in the outfield for the Padres. His dad Max played in the big leagues for 12 seasons. And Venable hits this one pretty well. And on the track, it's McCutcheon. Run comes in on 2 hits. They leave a man. And at the end of a half inning, Padres 1, Bucks coming to bat. while from Rivers Casino. First, though, we'll take a quick look at John Russell's lineup, brought to you by PNC. McCutchen, then Ronnie Cedeno moving into the 2 spot. Garrett Jones hasn't had a home run since last Tuesday against the Cubs. Ryan Domet in the cleanup spot. Lastings Millage, Brandon Moss, Neil Walker batting 7th and starting for the ill Andy LaRoche tonight. And Tim Stauffer, the right-hander out of Portland, Maine. Pitch outside for ball 1.
He grew up there, born in Cardiff, California, but came over to the East Coast. First round draft choice, 2003 for the Padres. He's the 4th player taken that year.
The Pirates need to find a way to counter that early run scored by Everett Cabrera. Cabrera had the leadoff double in the top of the first inning. 2-1 to Andrew McCutchen.
Overall numbers for Tim Stauffer, but he has been dynamite. His last 3 starts, he's given up 1 earned run in each of his last 3 starts. Doing the ball quite well.
And McCutchen lines one to the gap in right center. He might go for extra bases. McCutchen, he's not stopping. Oh boy, he's got 3.
He's fun to watch. When he heads towards second base and he sees that ball is still in play, he turns it on. There's a different gear. Venable kicked the ball out of there, but I think he had 3 bases anyway, because that was the deepest part of right center field. You're going to watch Venable chasing it down to the warning track. At this point, I think he's got 3 bases anyway. And then he kicks it, and it's a sure 3-bagger for Andrew. So how do you do, Mr. Stauffer?
Well, they've come that much closer to countering early. Cedeno a chance to knock him in. He puts it right in front of home plate. That won't get the job done. So Cedeno would like that one back. 1 out. But look at the speed. He'll hit the retro rockets right around first base. Watch this. Now he turns it on.
Yeah, you can see between first and second the commitment is made to third base, and then it's easy once Venable kicks the ball in right field. Now we got to make sure we cash this quick opportunity in.
Garrett Jones hasn't homered in a while. He's due. And for him, going more than a week has been a long distance of time.
Talking to some of the San Diego people that this young man, Tim Stauffer, is not dazzling with his stuff. He won't rear back and throw the ball by you, so that's an indication that he's done some very, very good pitching instead of throwing in those last 3 starts that we've been so impressed with.
Jones takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Mr. Stauffer missed all of last year with some shoulder problems, so spent some time this year, AA, AAA, and then was called up in the middle of July.
Had the torn labrum. That's no fun.
Doesn't even sound like fun.
Well, Stauffer was a Cape Cod leaguer at one point in time, and a gentleman by the name of Jim Collins wrote a book called The Last Best League, 1 summer, 1 season, 1 dream, and Stauffer was featured in that book during his summer on the Cape Cod League in 2002, pitching for the Chatham A's.
And went to college in Richmond. Yeah, a lot of major league players came out of the Cape Cod League.
It's a wooden bat league, and for a lot of players it gives them an idea of what it's going to be like when they're on the road, as they live in other people's homes and have to have jobs during the day.
Well, we all did that starting out. Rooming houses, people with an extra bedroom in the lower minors.
But on any given night, you'll find a pretty full scout section behind the backstop in any one of those fields. Full count to Jones. And he walked him. Runners at the corners for the cleanup man, Ryan Domet. Let's check out Steve's tips to win now, sponsored by our friends at Rivers Casino.
Yeah, is Tim Stauffer for real? He's had those 3 good starts in a row for the Padres. They got to be impressed with that. Then Morton versus Gonzalez, and first go around, kind of a draw as Gonzalez drove in the first run of the ball game, the fly ball to center field that got the Padres on the board. So stay tuned for that matchup. That will continue, hopefully for quite a while for Charlie. That'll mean he's in the ball game.
1-0 to Ryan Doman.
Talk about the University of Richmond, a familiar name for Pirate fans, baseball fans around this area, because that's where Sean Casey went to school, out of Upper St. Clair High School.
Spiders, Richmond Spiders.
They jump up and bite you if you take them for granted.
They might. And now Stauffer behind Doman. 2 balls and no strikes.
Little mini conference, Hundley, Stauffer. Tim Stauffer, as we said, signed a high round choice, first round choice, number 3 taken in 03. Had cups of coffee, they like to call it, in 05, 06, and 07 before losing all of last year to that shoulder problem.
2-0 pitch. Now it's 3-0. And Stauffer in danger of loading the bases now. Hastings Millage is on deck.
Pirates have never seen this young man, his first appearance against the Bucks.
And he walked him on 4 pitches. So Stauffer gives up the triple. He gets Cedeno to chop out and then walks Jones and Doman back to back. And the bases are full of Bucks here in the bottom of the first.
Take a look at this play that Nick Hundley made for the Padres. The ball comes in against the Diamondbacks. The ball gets away from him, but look at the save there as he keeps the ball in play. Comes back out. Here he is. Tosses it to home plate, and they get the out. Eric Burns, how about that? Presence of mind not to take the ball into the dugout with him. Keeps the play alive. Heads up baseball by a young catcher with a very impressive catcher-like name. Remember Randy Hundley? Remember Todd Hundley? Catchers and good ones.
That is a great
no relation
play.
Yep, Nick Hundley. Must be catcher's instinct. That was really heads up.
And Hastings Millage gaps this one to right center. Got to be caught, and that'll get the run in. So Millage drives in McCutcheon, and the game is tied at 1.
Boy, I thought that had the right center field gap written all over it from our angle, but Venable goes over and gets it.
He kept tailing over to him.
Yep. Right-hand batter slicing the ball back to the right fielder.
So RBI number 16 for Hastings Millage, and all square at 1 run apiece. Jones the go-ahead run in scoring position. Brandon Moss the batter. And he will take ball 1.
Some home runs given up by Stauffer. He has started 13 games. He's given up 8 home runs, so there have been some over-the-fence action shots hit off him.
Moss has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games here at PNC Park. A quick throw, and Jones just gets back.
Yep, design pickoff play as pitch lets the ball go to the catcher, and the shortstop breaks over. Your first reaction is say, "Oh my goodness, your pitcher left your shortstop left your pitcher hanging by changing his position, going over to second base." But it's a design play. Not expecting Brandon to go the opposite way.
And there's a strike called. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Millage driving in McCutcheon for the Pirates' first run. Moss takes inside. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Moss has been doing well when he's hitting in the 7th spot, but hitting in the 6th spot tonight. In the 7th spot, hitting .323. In the throw, that almost was airmailed into center field. Everett Cabrera showing some good hops, getting up there and getting it.
Catches a little bit of a flyer here. There is some rogue gene inside pitchers that make a lot of pitchers nervous throwing the bases. The pickoff play to first is pretty conventional, but other than that, it can get exciting. Especially when a pitcher gets a bouncer back in a double play situation. He gets it, turns around. First of all, he's got his back to second base, so he's got to turn around and get that squared away. And then maybe many times either lead a second baseman or shortstop to second base or throw it right at second base. And for some reason, we all throw those heavy sinking changeups.
Moss hits this one very well to center. And Quinn's not going to get it. Jones will score. Doman around third. He'll score. Around second and heading for third is Moss. He's in with a 2-run triple.
And nothing cheap about it either. He just crushed that ball. Tony Gwynn initially felt, I believe, like he had it measured, and that ball just kept going. It just took off, hit a second gear, went over his head, and got the huge bounce back in toward the infield. This ball was hit very hard. And there's the big bounce back toward the infield, so Gwynn winds up being caught in between the wall and the ball, and Brandon Moss just keeps on trucking.
So Moss drives in two. He now has 36 runs batted in. His fourth triple of the season. And Neil Walker out of Pine Richland High School, the local boy that everybody wants to see make good. #1 pick in 2004, 11th overall.
Late entry into the Pirates lineup when LaRoche was not able to go.
And he takes the 2-0 for a strike.
Guys fighting the flu. Talked to Steve Pierce before the game. Feeling under the weather.
Well, Neil made his major league debut on the 1st of September in Cincinnati and solidly struck one to the right side, but it took a Gold Glove play from Red second baseman Brandon Phillips. Made a diving stop and took away what would have been his first hit. He was in the starting lineup the next day. Didn't get a hit though, but he made his first big league start on the road. And this one is up in the air and foul. That'll make the chairs.
Mr. Stauffer closing in on 30 pitches for his first inning program.
First major league hit for Neil Walker was on the 6th of September off Jason Mott of the St. Louis Cardinals. And he's hit safely in 3 of his last 4 games in the big league. So trying to accumulate some at-bats, trying to accumulate some numbers. Payoff pitch coming from Stauffer. We'll do it again. A lot of firsts when you first come up.
Oh yeah, you got a whole bag full of things you got to get on the other side of.
I talked to the athletic director at his old high school, Pine Richland, the other night, Claire Altimus, who was excited, very excited for Neil. Neil was a 2-sport star at Pine Richland, football and baseball, and was over there the other night and came up and said, "When's he going to play again? When's he going to play again?" So, I don't make those decisions, Coach.
Well, everybody wants to see their young guys get a chance at the big time. Meanwhile, there's going to get a chance for somebody to loosen up, a left-hander in the Padre bullpen, in case Mr. Stauffer can't get out of this mess. 3 in already. Runners at first and third, and he has walked 3 in his first inning.
Cesar Ramos getting loose. And Ramon Vasquez takes strike 1. Veteran infielder has been getting a number of starts at second base recently. Delwyn Young, who was hoping to return to the lineup tonight, still with tightness in his lower back. He may be available as a pinch hitter tonight, but Vasquez getting the start with Young out of the lineup. And it was disappointing for Young on the road trip. A Los Angeles kid. He lives in nearby Hacienda Heights. He was able to sleep at home when he was in Los Angeles, but unable to play at Dodger Stadium for his former team and his former town. Vasquez taking the at-bats, taking the reps in the infield. Ramon has played second base, shortstop, third base, pinch hit. He has done whatever John Russell has asked him to do.
Well, this young man is working himself into a short night. He's Ramos continues to loosen up. Many times in this kind of situation, if he loses Vasquez, they'll let him work to the pitcher, maybe see if he can get that third out because he's working against the pitcher.
And he takes strike 2, so the count full again. So for the third straight hitter with 2 outs, Stauffer has gone full. It was full on Moss before he drilled it off the center field wall, scoring 2 runs. And now Charlie Morton waiting on deck. It was full to Neil Walker before he reached on a base on balls. And the full count, pitch fouled away.
Well, this is a hitter's dream. You got a guy struggling out there. He hadn't been around the big leagues all that long. Struggling in the first inning, needing to throw a strike. I mean, hard to look for anything but a fastball. And again, this young man is not overpowering. Qualify that with the fact that he has been pitching very well, but rough start tonight.
3-2 outside, ball forward for the second time in the inning. The bases are full of Bucks.
Well, Bud Black wants to buy Mr. Ramos some time, which would indicate to me that maybe they want to make a change right now. If they're going over to talk to him, if they're going to let him pitch to Morton.
Bud Black, the former big league hurler. He's out of San Diego State.
Remember when the Giants had that great battery, Black and Decker. Steve Decker, the catcher, Bud Black, the pitcher. Here we go again. So they're going to let him face Morton. I'm not surprised at that.
And Morton takes high for a ball. Yeah, you think that battery got a lot of jobs done?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So for the second time this season, the Pirates have had 2 triples in an inning. And Charlie Morton hammers one. And this one's going to go foul. Boy, did he give that one a lift.
I think Charlie was looking for the, he wasn't looking for the Uncle Charlie. He was looking for the fastball. Got out in front. Yep. Just a little bit too quick, and he knows he got around on it.
This next one fouled away. Well, as I was going to tell you about the last time the Pirates had 2 triples in an inning, it was August 11th at Colorado, 2005. So it goes back a way. This is the 40th pitch of the inning for Stauffer. And Morton. Little looper to Cabrera. So they leave him full, but they get 3 across. McCutchen, the first triple, and Brandon Moss on a 3-2 pitch drives it over the head of Tony Gwynn, scoring Jones and Domet. End of 1. The Bucks lead the Pods 3-1. Milestone round tripper off Brewer hurler Jason Beret. That's tonight's legendary performance, sponsored by Cabot Wood Stain. And Sammy Sosa wore the number 21 as Roberto Clemente.
As many Latin players have that come to the big leagues in honor of the great one.
And no matter
Roberto.
where we travel, Steve, we see Pirates gear at every stadium. You see the Clemente number 21. Everybody's got a Clemente jersey of one look or another, and it's just
one of the reasons is that he kind of transcended the game a little bit. He wasn't just a baseball player.
So a 2-run lead to start the top half of the second inning. Big bottom of the first. Drew Macias will start it off for the Padres, the left fielder, followed by Nick Hundley and then Tony Gwynn. And Macias takes inside. Again, the two triples, the triple by McCutchen, Steve, and the triple by Moss. The first time the Pirates have had two first-inning triples since August 11th, 2005 at Colorado, as I mentioned. It's the second time this season they've had two triples in an inning. They had two in the sixth inning on June 8th at Atlanta. But you don't see it very often.
No.
And McCutchen with his leadoff triple to right center field, and then Moss driving it off the center field wall.
Nothing cheap about either one of them. So many Clemente stories. Just an overview. The reason, the reason the Clemente legacy lives on. There's a ball fouled back. You get an indication because there's a book written every year. Almost every year, somebody writes a book about Roberto Clemente. These 30-some years later, after his death. That tells you a lot. I do remember when I was a young pitcher in the low minor leagues, I mean rookie league and A-ball, we were taught that with a base hit to right field, as a pitcher, you run between home and first toward the dugout, that area, because if you ever get to the big leagues, I told you, Clemente on a single to right would throw behind the runners, and you better be over there to back up. We were wondering what the heck that was all about. And we knew.
There's a shot backhanded by Garrett Jones. 1 out. Nice play by the big first baseman.
Plenty of time to gauge it. He was playing deep. Got the glove down. Good reaction play. Good reaction positioning.
1 away for the catcher, Nick Hundley. Well, when you came up and played with Roberto, I mean, did you ever suspect that he would have the impact that he had? I mean, was he just another guy in the clubhouse?
No, he was different. I came up in '64. He had already been in the big league several years, so he had really evolved as a player. But yeah, that a lot of the humanitarian stuff and awareness and principle and dignity aspects of him, I think, really started to blossom from the mid '60s until his death. I think he became aware of the gifts that he had.
This one driven pretty well to left field. That is over the head of Lastings Millage. Plays a good hop though, and Hundley in there with a double.
I do remember Clemente, like a lot of position players, all of these guys think they can pitch. Clemente was no exception. He used to make me watch him play catch on the side before the ball game, and he would always tell me about his curveball. And it was an awful curveball, terrible curveball. But I was afraid to tell him to keep his day job. But I'd keep that to myself.
Yeah, but when you were pitching, you didn't mind looking back out in right field and having him out there.
Well, when I was pitching, I got Maz at second, Stargell at first, and Clemente in right. That's 3 Hall of Famers. Yeah, I was okay with everybody hitting the ball that direction.
Keep it outside to the right-handers.
Yeah, go ahead. Go that way.
To the lefties.
Some pretty good help over there.
Yeah. Speaking of lefties, here's a son of another great one. Tony Gwynn Jr., or as his dad calls him, Anthony. He is Anthony in the Gwynn home.
Well, that reminds me of our old trainer, Tony Bartram, had a son, Anthony. They call him Anthony. A lawyer down in Sarasota. Graduate of Duke University. Anthony Bartram, real first-class gentleman, as is his dad and classy lady, his mom, Carol.
2-0 to Gwynn. Hundley at second. That one's high. Tony Gwynn Jr., an alum of San Diego State, like his manager Bud Black. His father, Tony, is the head baseball coach there.
Pretty good hitter. Another quality gentleman. Tony Gwynn always had time for you. That's a little bit of an indicator of the kind of person you are.
Takes a strike. Yeah, back in April, Tony made some time. I went over to the ballpark. I've seen Tony around the last few years in the college circuit. And one of the nicer guys brought me into his office. He was ordering equipment, and he had stacks of samples up on his desk, and he couldn't see his desk. And he says, one of those deals. But everybody wants to give him stuff. There's ball 4. So now the tying run is aboard with 1 out. Well, today was Roberto Clemente Day of Giving, and a lot of the fans able to come to the ballpark, learn about the initiatives associated with Pirates charities, and also learn how they can support. And folks tonight getting a number 21 button when they talked about it and learned how to support these charities. And these are some of the charitable arms that are associated with the Pirates. And as far as Pirates go, Clemente Award winners, Paul Maholm this year, and these are the players from each level of the minor leagues and developmentally.
I had a chance to meet this young man out outside the Pirate offices. Mike Williams and his family. He played for the State College Spikes, Division II school. This young gentleman had a chance to say hello. Told him I hoped I would see him here in a Pirate uniform in a few years.
Well, Stauffer bunts this one foul. Nothing in 1. So Paul Maholm. He and his wife Jessica do a lot of community work, and it's not something that anybody has to ask him to do. It's near and dear to his heart. Again, works a lot with the Gilda's Club of Western Pennsylvania, dealing with families and cancer victims, and went over there for the barbecue for the Bucks earlier in the season that Paul and his wife hosted. It was very nice. It's a great setup there. Of course, Gilda's Club after Gilda Radner,
Yep.
actress and comedian who passed away years ago from cancer.
Well, the Pirates have handed Mr. Morton a 2-1 or 2-run lead. But, he's fooling around with it right now.
Well, you hear some of the Pirate pitchers talk about the shutdown inning, getting runs and then coming back out and shutting them down. So Morton trying to do that here. Stauffer bunts this one foul. That is strike 2.
There are cases when you're willing to sacrifice or make a trade for an out, giving up 2 base runners, getting in a scoring position. But here's where you want to strike this guy out, leave these guys at first and second. I mean, it is your mound opponent. That's your #1 priority.
So 2-2. Stauffer will prepare to bunt again. Jones charges, and he strikes out, bunting foul. So 2 men are out. More on the charitable arm of the Pirates. Pirates Charities had another big event yesterday at Seven Springs. We were both there, Steve, as well as the rest of our broadcast crew. There's John Russell, the Sporting Clays Invitational, Virgil Vasquez, and a number of folks had a great time. Good turnout yesterday at the Sporting Clays Invitational. You know, you don't know what it's going to be like until you do it. It is so much fun, and there was a lot of money raised for Pirates Charities. A number of players, a number of members from the staff were there. There was President Frank Coonley on hand, owner Bob Nutting. He and one of the team doctors, Dr. Patrick DeMay, were co-chairs of the event.
Well attended. We had a good time. It is. I was with a group of guys that do a lot of that sort of thing. They said the facility, Sporting Clays facility at Seven Springs, maybe in the top 10 in the world, not just the United States. They were extremely impressed with that whole layout.
It is fantastic. It's the first time that I've taken part in anything like that. It's like golf, the way you have a scorecard and you go from station to station, and it is really fun. It is. It was, and everybody I've talked to that went that hadn't done it before said that it was more fun than they thought they'd have, and it was really entertaining.
Of course, your errant shots are a little more dangerous than that than golf.
Yeah. But I would suggest
It's great fun. I'd never done it, and I had a great time.
I'd highly recommend trying it out. Good time of year to do it, too. Here comes the 2-0. And Cabrera bounces it to Jones. That's going to be a long throw. Morton doesn't get it. Well, Charlie late to first. Cabrera does run well. The ball hit deep to first, so a tough play. And now the bases are loaded.
Well, it's not really blistered, and Jones is playing deep, but yeah, Charlie Morton's got to win that race. He's either got to outrun him at that point because he's got a shorter distance, or get that start going earlier. One of the factors too, Garrett Jones gave up some ground that cost him some time, so it was not well done. I don't really think on either end.
Everett Cabrera now 2 for 2. Here's Eckstein. Breaking ball for a strike. Eckstein, the MVP of the 2006 World Series, while a member of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, here's your key man, Charlie Morton. This could be your ball game right here in the top of the second inning for you personally.
One pitch, pounded foul. So now Morton gets ahead of him 0-2.
Yeah. Garrett Jones, he's got to be aware of the fact that Cabrera runs very well. If there's any way he can come in and take that ball coming in instead of giving ground, well, that's a factor. But Charlie's got to help him out by getting over there quicker. So I wasn't crazy about the play on either end.
And he struck him out. So Morton gets out of it. Nothing across for the Padres in the second. From the bottom of the second inning, 3-1 Pirates. With Cabrera, the Rule 5 pick from Colorado. And you're really taking a chance when you pick up a single-A player in the Rule 5 draft, because you either have to keep him on the major league roster the whole year or offer him back to the team from which he came. And not only did he do well, he's been their regular shortstop.
Andrew fooled on the last two pitches, out in front of an off-speed pitch and then very late on the fastball. It's a sequence every pitcher loves. Got him out in front and then it got him behind. Andrew right now in full defense mode, trying to stay alive up there at the plate.
McCutcheon struggled a little bit on the road trip. A few hitless games. We're talking about the one that got away. Got to cover up. Sit down near the dugout. You better be ready.
Lovely night at the ballpark.
1-2 pitch popped him up. And Gonzalez makes it 1 out. McCutcheon down here in the second.
So both of these pitchers getting a big out early in the ball game just to keep this thing from getting out of hand. Morton strikes out David Eckstein with the bases loaded, and Mr. Stauffer got Charlie Morton with the bases loaded in the bottom of the first. So treading through some murky water early in this game, these two starters.
Cedeno chopped one right in front of home plate with nobody out his last time up, and I'd like to get a better swing this time around. Nothing in 1-2. Ronnie Cedeno. And now it's nothing in 2. Cedeno's shown some good flashes of power. 10 home runs combined between the Seattle Mariners and with the Pirates. 5 with each team this year. And throughout the course of his entire major league career, he's never had that many in a single season. 0-2, a comebacker. And Stauffer throws him out quickly, 2 away.
Mr. Stauffer looks like a completely different pitcher than he was in the first inning.
2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Nobody out. Nobody on, and 2 out for Garrett Jones. This is when he's been his most successful, is with nobody on base. You look at the home runs, Steve, 19, 39 runs batted in. Somebody with 19 home runs normally is going to have more than 39 runs batted in.
How many solos out of the 19? It's got to be 13 or 14.
I think it's right around 15.
We got him right where we want him right now.
11 of his 19 home runs have come here at PNC Park.
It all adds up, doesn't it? He's where he wants to be, and nobody on the base paths.
He'd like to soak a baseball in the Allegheny before it's all said and done. 3-0, now it's 3-1. Only 27 baseballs have reached the Allegheny, and only 1 has gone in on the fly. 3-1 pitch, and Jones fouls it back again. 3-2. A lot of 3-2 counts early in the ball game for Stauffer. 68 Bucco Blasts at home. $115 total. And this one well hit to right. This one's going to be off the base of the wall. And into second base with a double is Garrett Jones.
That's what they call a ringing double. That ball trying to get over toward the shorter, lower fence. See, trying to come back a little bit, but never was going to have enough distance as Venable has to keep his footing out there. Good at bat for Garrett.
Yep. That is a good at bat. 3-2 pitch, and drives it off the base of the wall to 375 mark. Now Ryan Doman will get a chance to switch hitting catcher. Batting left-handed against the righty Stauffer. Strike 1. Doman walked and scored in the first.
They were paying a lot of attention to Garrett Jones at second base in the first inning. Let's see if they do the same here. A decent lead. Garrett is an above average base runner in terms of speed, so a base hit to the outfield, I would think that Tony Beasley wouldn't hesitate unless it was just a rocket on one hop to somebody.
Pounded foul. 9 home runs this year for Domit, 8 of them from the left side, 1 from the right, and that one came on the recent road trip last Sunday in Houston. And 7 of his 9 home runs have come when batting cleanup, and that's the spot he's in tonight in the batting order. Stauffer looks at Jones at second. And Garrett will jump back to the bag.
Ted Simmons is going to be my guest on Greats of the Game. 21 Major League seasons in uniform for Ted, a switch hitter, and ranked high among all-time switch hitters. And he goes into that subject Sunday afternoon. Ted was a terrific catcher. 21 years behind the plate. He's done a lot of front office work. Now he is the bench coach for the Padres, former GM of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1992 and 93, Ted Simmons was the general manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's on the Padres bench now.
Thomas slaps this 2-2 foul. Greats of the game.
There's Ted.
You got to mention where it is, Steve.
Yeah, it's Sunday afternoon at just on the Pirates pregame show.
On radio.
Greats of the Game.
Radio side.
On the radio side. Yep.
It's a radio-only game Sunday. The only place you'll be able to get it.
Tough Ted. He's a good one.
2-2 pitch. Full count again. Stauffer has been absolutely laboring in the early going. We're just in the bottom of the second inning. He has thrown 60 pitches already.
So if you average 30 pitches an inning times 9, get down.
He pulled foul.
That's only 200. That'd be a pretty interesting complete game. 270 pitches. You might skip your sideline in between starts.
Well, yeah, the way that pitch counts are managed today, Steve, to get to 270 pitches, it might take you 3 weeks now.
That's right.
I know you love the subject of pitch count, so maybe we'll bother you with it later.
Sure.
3-2 pitch. This one up in the air to shallow center. In comes Tony Gwynn. He'll make the catch, and that'll do it for the Pirates as we head to the third when we come back to PNC Park. And the Pirates' 6-2 win at Three Rivers Stadium, September 18th, 1989. That's our This Day in Pirates history, thanks to Day Automotive. Along with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett here with you at PNC Park. Top of the third inning, 3-1 Pirates. Charlie Morton will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Padres order. Adrian Gonzalez, Chase Headley, and Will Venable.
Well, this is one of our keys to the game, the matchup between Charlie Morton and Adrian Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez's 89th run batted in the top of the first inning with that sacrifice fly that scored Everett Cabrera. One ball and no strikes to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez home run totals. His first season 6 years ago he had 1. Then he had 6 the next year. Then 24. Then 30. Then 36. Then 37. This year 38. He has a career high every single year. One is inside. He and his brother Edgar on the bench. We had an interesting scenario, Steve, back in April when the Pirates were in San Diego to take on the Padres. In the final game that was won by the Pirates that day, 8-3. Both Adrian and Edgar, the brothers, hit home runs. Adam LaRoche, who was with the Pirates then, hit a home run. And Andy was in the lineup and just missed.
This one goes to Charlie Morton. Okay, let's check out our pitch refresher brought to you by Coors Light. Look at how Charlie pitched to Mr. Gonzalez. Downstairs, out in front. Got him out in front nicely. Missing inside. Just barely missing outside. And then he gets it done. And that's our Coors Light pitch refresher brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Chase Headley grounds out to Charlie Morton, quickly 2 away in the top half of the third inning. And going back to that game in April, can you imagine if Andy had hit a home run in that game? 2 brothers hitting home runs in the 2 sets of brothers?
That would be quite unique.
It's been pretty rare. But 3 of the 4 did. Again, the Pirates would win that game, but that was way back in April.
That's back when the Pirates were 11-7.
Right. 4 games over 500 when they left the southern end of California. 1 ball and no strikes to Venable, who flied out deep to right center field. Andrew McCutchen caught up to it on the warning track. And this one to second. 3 up and 3 down. Charlie Morton gets himself a clean inning. After 2.5, the Bucs lead it 3-1. of the third inning. Speaking of three, Steve, you had 2 holes in 1.
Yes,
you
I did.
almost had a third one.
I almost had a third one. Yeah, I just went over the pin. That one would have paid a little bit. That would have been fun. Well, it was a spectacular day. You know what they say: good golfers don't make holes in one; they make good scores. Us fluky golfers do the hole in one stuff. But it was so exciting. It was unreal. It just doesn't happen. And of course, I was in an event that didn't have the cars on the hole in one holes.
Yeah.
I figured driving home I should have been towing 2 cars with me. But what a memorable day. 67 million to 1 against that happening.
Steve Millage strokes a single to right field. Well, there was a kid in Utah that got a hole in one, won $1 million.
Yeah, that was one, Tim. I had 2. Let's get back to that. Let's make sure.
Yeah, but you got $1 million less than he got.
It's the pride and the principle of it.
Sure. You got a computer?
I got a computer that I don't know how to use, and a gift card that Karen already spoke for. So I drove home with a $400 bar tab, saying what just happened. But
right.
I have heard from a lot of people. It's something else.
And Moss going the other way. Well, again, that surprised you. You've been getting a lot of surprises.
Yeah, I get a lot of surprises. Well, do I ever?
So 1 down, and Millage, the runner at first base. And now here comes Neil Walker. And Moss hit the ball pretty hard going the other way. So he's hit it hard twice. He's 1 for 2. And now Walker, who walked in the first inning.
And they do evaluate all the at-bats. So Brandon's had 2 good at-bats. Well, we have a minute. This guy works pretty quickly, so I'll make my point after this pitch. It has been a tough season in so many areas for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I do want to say this. The one thing they do at this ballpark, and they do a lot of things good, but that Bucko military salute, where they have shout-outs from people all over the world wishing their best wishes and love for the people back home. That is such a classy thing that the Pittsburgh Pirates do. That is just absolutely first class, major league stuff. The Bucko military salute. Those folks have a chance to say hello to folks back home and say, let's go Bucks. It makes you feel awful good about a lot of things.
Means so much more when you're overseas. It really does. An opportunity to connect.
Representing that flag.
Two balls, no strikes. There's Lastings Millage. Leadoff single. And Neil Walker. 2-0 is high. Throw to first, and just getting back in there is Miller.
Speaking of long season, when you guys are on the road, it's hard for me to go to the grocery store or the restaurants or other gas stations because I have a bullseye on my head, as we all do. It's been a tough year. But, it always comes back. They say, how do you get through it? How do you do it? And I said, well, same way I did it when I was a player. You got paid for 162. You show up for 162 and you play hard. That's what these players have to do. And you're trained to play. You're trained not to play according to the schedule or the standings or time of year. You're trained to play the whole time. That's what you expect from these players, and that's. I was on some teams that struggled just as much as these teams in the recent years have. And you're paid to do that, and you're trained to do that. You just hope you get better.
Stauffer keeping Millage close at first base. Neil Walker with a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
And the Pirates are committed to 2 things: improving this ball club and maintaining their relationship with what they do with the community through Pirate Charities. And those 2 commitments are non-negotiable.
Walker now with a full count. Neil Walker hopes to be part of that future in his hometown. Last check, his Pine Richland Rams were winning tonight, by the way, in football.
You gotta be careful. My St. Clair Panthers, or Upper St. Clair Panthers, are out in the North Hill somewhere.
Well, they beat Pine Richland last week, so
yeah. Well, they're back out there against the North.
That's why I didn't talk to you for a week. Here comes the payoff. Well, go to first. I don't think those Panthers have much to worry about this year. They look pretty good.
They're pretty good program that Mr. Render has there.
Here comes the 3-2 to Walker. And this one is driven to left. Going back on it. Macias. He makes the grab. We're talking about prep football. Last season, Central Catholic beat Upper St. Clair in a 1-point thriller. Now both teams look to settle the score into the Knights when they battle for Quad A bragging rights. McDonald's high school football, presented by Trip Total Media, begins Thursday at 7 on FSN. Your Panthers.
Busy week.
Yep.
So the Pirates got the leadoff base hit from Millage. Moss and Neil Walker both hitting the ball sharply right on the button out to left field, but both balls caught. Millage remains at first base, and they're expecting him to take off as the pitch out arrives at home plate.
Vasquez walked his first time up. Former Seattle Mariner came up with them last year with the Texas Rangers. 2-0 to Vasquez. More activity going on in the bullpen for Bud Black. There's the Padres trying to keep some fresh arms. They've got a right-hander and a left-hander loosening. Stauffer just doesn't seem long for the ball game. We're only in the bottom of the third.
Well, this time of year, of course, you have a bunch of arms. Clubhouses are crowded. The buses to the airport and back are crowded. Airplanes are crowded.
Can you imagine 2 players in the same row on an airplane?
Oh my goodness.
That's unheard of.
Oh, I remember the days when we would fly commercial and we'd have to stop in Kansas City so we could change crews. They weren't allowed to fly that long. We'd stay on the plane.
Times have changed.
Yeah, but you know what? You're in the big leagues. We didn't care. Nobody cared. You're in the big leagues.
I thought you rode the train.
No, I was a little after the train. I rode the buses, rode the station wagons.
Vasquez pops this one up down the line and right. Nice catch. Will Venable stayed with it the whole way.
1 in 67 million chance of happening, you are 1 in 67 million, if not
Look
more.
at that cake. It's got a sand trap on it and everything. Look at that. How about that? Sand trap, which Steve stayed out of. Last one.
And I do love green frosting.
Oh, it's all over my hand. Look at
Hold it. This cake has the ball outside the cup.
It's rolling in, though.
Oh, well.
It's rolling in, as you can see.
Can you hold it there?
Yeah.
Look at that.
There it is. Perfect.
Perfect.
The pin seeker.
It is now.
In the hole.
Look at that.
There it is.
Very nice. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Anytime. We got some plates and.
You got some plates and forks and back and something, of course, to wash it down with.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. That's very creative. Wonderful.
What part did you enjoy the most?
I hit a slice, so slice it to the right,
A big
please.
slice. A big slice. Macias flies out to McCutcheon. And while Steve gets fed, we will give you our Aflac trivia question. Who was the last Padres rookie to have 2 walk-off hits in a season? Who was the last? Everett Cabrera had a walk-off single Wednesday against the Diamondbacks. That's his second of the year. Who was the last guy to do it? How's that cake?
There we go. Just finishing up with the first round here. Wow, somebody just got a real surprise in that Padres dugout. A rocket in there, and everybody seems to be okay.
We'll see who that was.
Might need to have some laundry adjustments over there, but other than that.
I think he's out. Watch out. Got to bring your glove to the ballpark.
That's why they call it hardball, son.
Looks like he got the deflection. We might need a pillbox for aspirin.
How about that cake?
Isn't that nice?
Pretty creative.
That's very nice. That was
downstairs.
That was Rick from downstairs. He handles a lot of the food. He's actually Steve's personal valet when it comes to food. And he comes dressed for the occasion every single night. He's got his 1979 uniform on tonight. I like that one. I saw him prior to the game and I asked him if he came dressed for battle tonight.
Black and gold.
He says that's his favorite uni. Hundley, 1 for 1 tonight. So 1 out. Macias flied out to Andrew McCutcheon to start the 4th. And all these things you're getting, Steve, just all these accolades.
Well, hey, check it out. Have 2 aces in 1 round. You know how it feels. I couldn't resist.
I did like your quote in the newspaper saying that when you rolled down the hill, you looked like a big fat bear.
Yeah, I knew you would enjoy that.
I thought that was a good quote. 3-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Well, is that what you did when you got the first one or the second one?
That was about like the first one. I jumped up and down, and then the second one it just went blank.
That's when you rolled down the hill like a fat bear.
Yeah, yep. You already mentioned that, Tim.
No, you mentioned it. I'm just repeating it. 3-2 again, fouled away. Yeah.
Now the problem was Rooker. This was a Pirate Bucko Day out at Greensburg Country Club, and Rooker was out there. He wanted, you buy a drink for the house for everybody that played. He wanted 2, and I think he got it.
Hundley hanging in there.
I think the neat thing was I was out there with Maz. That's in his home turf out there, and I said, Maz, this is the first event I've ever been at with you where I signed more autographs than you did. It wasn't by much, and I'm not sure I did, but I thought it was appropriate to say that to Bill.
3-2 pitch. Good follow. Yeah, Maz was up at the Sporting Clays Invitational yesterday at Seven Springs also.
Yeah, Stan Belinda. Haven't seen Stan in a while. Stan was there. Sid Bream was there. Picture perfect early autumn day, as we're enjoying here tonight.
So Morton trying to get Hundley 1 out, nobody on. And again, the 3-2 delivery. This time to the right side and down the line, and that'll be an extra base. Moss making it close at second base, but a double for Hundley. That's his second one.
One in each direction. First one was to left field. This one down off the stands. It doesn't run all that well. And I thought maybe with a stronger throw by Brandon Moss, it might have been even more interesting at second base. There's the beginnings of it, and the bounce. Brandon gets it, and then the throw in. Not quite in time.
Sigh of relief for him, fighting off all those 3-2 pitches. So 2 doubles on the night for Hundley. Here is Tony Gwynn. Alfonso on deck, which will indicate that Stauffer's night is done. This one up in the air, back a third. And Neil Walker will end up chasing it down in fair territory. We've been celebrating the 2 holes in 1 for Steve Blass, but how about a championship to celebrate? The Pirates' single-A affiliate, Lynchburg, Virginia, the Lynchburg Hillcats, winning the Carolina League title, beating the Salem Red Sox in a 3-game sweep. They won their 6th Mills Cup championship. Chase Darnell, 4 out of 13. 3 doubles and 7 runs batted in. And the Hillcats earned a big celebration. Pirates' #1 pick this year, Tony Sanchez, on that ball club, and he contributed down the stretch.
Way to go, Cats.
Jeff Locke, who was one of the acquisitions and one of the many Pirate trades this season, also contributed heavily. So it's good to see the prospects at the lower level getting into that championship mode.
Well, always nice to get a taste of winning. Doesn't matter what level you're at.
These are Alfonso, 179 hitter. This is his 36th appearance in a ball game. So 2 men out. He has Hundley at second base. And Ryan Doman wants to come out and speak with him. What does that do, though, for a franchise to start getting into that winning mode at that young level? And these are guys that I know General Manager Neil Huntington and his staff are very, very excited about.
Well, that's the other plus of a stocked minor league system. They learn how to win. It never gets old, and that's a good quality to arrive at the big league level with.
Alfonso hitting for Stauffer. Stauffer done. Pitch fouled into the dirt. 0-2.
Eleazar, not Edgardo Alfonso. Remember Edgardo Alfonso, good major league career.
3 runs on 4 hits for Stauffer.
And also walked 4.
All in the same inning. Didn't strike anybody out. Padres had won the last 4 games that Stauffer had started. 4 and 6 decision-wise for him. He didn't figure in all of those games in the final decision, but they had won the last 4. And he leaves this ball game early without a chance to get a positive decision.
But a ball game that still certainly is not out of hand.
And this one fouled away to the right side.
Charlie Morton has increased his velocity. He was throwing 90-91 the first inning. Now turns that one loose 93. So getting it stretched out a little bit.
John Russell was asked before the game about Charlie Morton, and he said that he is pitching better each time, and they thought that the last time was better than the time before. That they're still looking for consistency from him. They want him to follow the game plan more closely. Popped up right side. Garrett Jones looks up into the night sky. He takes care of it. And that'll do it for the Padres in the top of the 4th inning. Morton, McCutchen, and Cedeno coming up. 2006. The rookie Everett Cabrera. Pirates hoping to keep him in check the rest of the way. He is 2 out of 2 tonight. And now Greg Burke comes on to relieve Tim Stauffer.
'45th appearance.
So Burke facing Charlie Morton, who leads off the bottom half of the 4th inning. Charlie dropped a lot of jaws rather, in the first inning. When he hit one. Take 2. When he hit one deep down the left side, it was a foul ball, but he had home run distance on it.
He certainly did.
What'd you say after your second hole in one?
Whoopee.
That's outside. Change the subject.
Yep. Greg Burke on early in this ball game. Rookie out of Camden, New Jersey.
See where Charlie is in the batter's box? Way up in the front. Getting that front foot up there, just trying to get his bat on the baseball.
That used to be the theory against the knuckleball pitchers, against Phil Necro and those kind of guys. Get up as close to the front of the batter's box. The theory was you could hit it before the knuckleball started breaking. Well, the knuckleball starts moving around the minute it leaves the pitcher's hand.
And Morton down on strikes, 1 away. Well, tomorrow the Pirates will host the Padres in a 12:35 matinee game. You can spend the day on the North Shore. Big day. You can stay for the Pitt football game against Navy after the Bucs game against the Padres. All fans at the game receive a Pirates gold cap modeled by Zach Duke, courtesy of Trip Total Media. Plus, show your Pitt Navy ticket at the PNC Park box office and get an outfield box seat for only $10. That's half off. To get your tickets, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. Big doubleheader day tomorrow.
Getting to be that time of year. We already had one Saturday game where I came to the ballpark and Pitt was just finishing up. That creates a little interesting travel.
Okay.
Traffic situation.
It was the Youngstown State game?
Yep.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Navy now. You can't. They're a pretty good football team. Pitt's off to a good start. Foul ball at the plate. Saw Navy play last year against Air Force in a service academy game. What a great experience those service academy games. Army, Navy, Air Force, Navy, Air Force, Army. A lot of pageantry and also some good football. There's a 1-2. And McCutcheon down on strikes. 2 strikeouts to start the inning for Greg Burke.
Burke's Law.
Well, tomorrow's big day. Catch a full day of college football. 4 big games on FSN. It all kicks off at noon with regional action when Gannon takes on Cal U. Then at 3:30, Tulsa travels to Norma to take on the Oklahoma Sooners. At 6:45, Big East offense powerhouse Cincinnati. They've been great lately. They head west to battle Oregon State. The day wraps up Kansas State, UCLA. 10:15. FSN Cedeno is out. So we'll head to the 5th when we come back to PNC Park. 3-1 Pirates.
Speaking of the 1979 championship look, that hat's still a symbol of that year.
Folks having a good time out their Pirates gear on.
And speaking of a good time, we all had a good time out at Allegheny Country Club, raising some money for the John Hines History Center Sports Museum. With Andy Masick and all the crew from the History Center and Matters. Good time. A lot of Steelers, a lot of ex-Pirates, ex-Steelers.
Cabrera trying to bunt his way on. Walker. Throw is off the mark, and Cabrera's safe. Throw pulled Jones off the bag a little bit, but we'll see how it is ruled. Might have been a base hit anyway.
Well, the Pirates are out earlier, maybe anticipating this kind of action from Cabrera, and they're taking balls like this, making the throws on the run, charging in from their third base position. And this one does not work. Padres have the speed on the base bounce.
Cabrera has reached 3 times. See what David Eckstein does.
No,
he's not adverse to the bunt.
Yep.
Take a look at the Barrel Automotive League leaders' stats and the rookies in stolen bases. Everett Cabrera gaining on Dexter Fowler of Colorado. Andrew McCutchen third. Garrett Jones on the list.
He got off to a tremendous start. He stole a lot of bases early, and then he's backed off a little bit. One time I thought it was 7-0 or 8-1, something like that. Now he's 9-2. Garrett Jones.
Eckstein takes ball 1. Eckstein sacrificed Cabrera from second to third in the first inning, then struck out swinging with the bases loaded to win the second.
You would think that Mr. Cabrera would love to have that stolen base title for rookies. You get close to those kind of things, you start sniffing them, and you start smelling, oh, okay, yeah, I've got a chance to do something pretty distinctive here as a rookie. Steal the most bases. You don't think about them all that much until you get up next to them. 0, only 4 back. The old-fashioned look by David Eckstein, choking up on the bat.
Ooh, very close there. Cabrera getting a big lead. Jones keeps that one from getting away. Well, you look at the bat of Eckstein, you wonder why he doesn't use a shorter bat. Good play by Jones.
Well, I think a guy like David Eckstein, he likes a thick-handled bat. He likes a lot of wood. But a lot of wood weighs a lot, so you choke up. And you still got your mass of wood put you up on the handle. You don't have to give up the weight.
First base umpire Gary Darling wanted to get that baseball out of there. A lot of dirt on it, so he's throwing that ball out of the game. Brand new one for Charlie Morton.
Just had a look at the handle of the bat of David Eckstein. It's a lot thicker than most of these whip handle bats that they have.
And that is a throwback. There was a time when most of the batters were doing that.
Yep.
There goes Cabrera. Throw down, and Cabrera is in there with another stolen base.
I used to use Clementi's bat and choke up on it because just so much wood. He wasn't crazy about that either. Ryan Domit, the effort at second base, but you can see Cabrera has a sizable jump. Like he had stolen base attempt written all over him from the time he reached first base.
Stolen base number 24. And this one hit him. So now the tying run aboard in the 5th.
And here's that matchup again. So far, so good for Charlie Morton against Adrian Gonzalez, but you keep playing with fire. Come on, David, you got to make an attempt to get out of the way. Sure, I'm all right. I just stole first base. Nods into the dugout. Can I see that in back? Pete, can we look at that again from the pitcher's standpoint? See if there's any effort at all by David Eckstein to get out of the way. None whatsoever. None.
If anything, he's dropped his elbow in the way.
Well, there used to be a theory about that. It was popular when Ron Hunt was around, setting records for getting hit. If you want to get hit, okay, we'll hit you. We'll hit you good. Play that game.
So Eckstein hit by the pitch is at first base. Everett Cabrera at second. And here is Adrian Gonzalez. And the one thing that has been haunting Charlie Morton this season is the one bad inning. He's had good stuff, and we continue to hear that from the coaching staff and from manager John Russell, that they like what Charlie Morton does. They like how he throws strikes. They say he's got electric stuff at times, but it seems like there's one bad inning here and there where he just loses concentration and can't get it done. And that's been the thing that's been hurting him the most.
This ball is out of play. The one good thing that Charlie has going right now is that Adrian Gonzalez has hit into 22 double plays. I mean, that's got to be up somewhere close to the top of that list. So we can get him to hit the ball on the ground. A chance to get a couple quick outs.
That is the fifth most in the National League.
The trick is to get him to hit the ball on the ground. Those left-handers love to swing that golf swing and lift the ball.
Good pitch there. As Gonzalez got a piece of it. Jeff Karstens now is loosening up to back up Charlie Morton. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the slugging first baseman for San Diego. Nobody out, 2 men aboard. Morton awaits the 1-2 pitch. Gonzalez ready. 2-2.
Close. Everybody uses that word consistency. That's not the important word. How do you get consistent? You know, yeah, everybody would like to be more consistent. The guys that are great and then they might be great all the time. But how do you get to be consistent? That's the key. What do you do to get there? Good off-speed pitch delivered by Morton. Good job of Gonzalez to stay alive.
Well, that brings up a great question. You know, what is the secret? If somebody had the secret, they might have shared it by now. Everybody has a different way of preparing. Everybody has a different way of performing. And there are, I think, degrees of consistency. But
well, yeah, you just do it more often. If you do it a little bit, if you do it more often, then yeah, that's a higher degree of consistency. But you know, if you take an overview of all the talent in the major leagues, all these guys are capable of doing wonderful things. Some guys do it more often than others, and that's the consistency. That's the great players. They do it more often. Nobody does it all the time, and everybody can do it once or a little bit. Who does it the most often? Simple as that. Everybody finds different ways to be consistent. Have better at bats, throw a better curveball, better control. I mean, this is a pretty good test for Charlie Morton right now. You got a real good hitter up there, capable of doing a lot of things, a lot of big things. And so far, he's going head to head with him during this at bat. Now, the edge to me starts to slide toward Gonzalez because he has just about seen everything Charlie has to offer in this at bat. I don't think if he surprises him, it's just a pure guess situation by Gonzalez, because Gonzalez has seen all of his stuff.
The 2-2. 3-2. And a pitch away from loading the bases for Charlie Morton. Gonzalez, 104 walks, 3rd in Major League Baseball. He's reached the 100 walk mark for the 10th time in Padres history. So Morton trying to get a strike. Here on the 3-2 pitch. And this one to the right side. Jones a chance. Cedeno back to first. Morton covering. They got two.
There's the double play. Get him to hit the ball on the ground, and Charlie got over there in time that time. The good thing for the Pirates, that ball was smoked right at Garrett Jones, so they had the time.
23rd time Gonzalez has hit into a double play this year.
Yep. Charlie throws the pitch, the ball is hit, and a pretty decent break off the pitcher's mound, and then the footwork is okay, and that's the play you work on every day in spring training. And the thing that helps you the most is that the shortstop gets you the ball where you can handle it, because basically you're looking for the ball and the base. So what you do is try to line up the base, because that's going to be in the same place. Get your footwork right and then look for the ball. Find the base first, then the ball.
Moves Cabrera down to third, and Chase Headley takes strike one. Such a big relief for any pitcher, as you well know, when you get that twin kill.
Absolutely.
And Morton having a big part in that double play. 0-1.
There are sometimes as a pitcher when you go over there that you just don't have time to find the base first. You got to make sure you got the ball, because that's the thing that's the variable. The base is the constant.
Well, Charlie was beaten to the base once tonight. Everett Cabrera beat him there in the second inning, and Charlie probably reaching down saying this is not going to happen again.
Well, if Gonzalez was running that first time, he would have beaten him. Cabrera runs much better.
0-2 pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Headley. Headley 1 for 2 tonight, singled in the first inning.
Among other things for Charlie, he's got to finish his 5th inning to qualify for a win. Not much action, all kind of business going on in the first inning, but since then it's been quiet.
And he got him looking.
Speed pitch, nicely done.
Charlie Morton sits down Chase Headley, helped out by a double play in the top of the 5th. Didn't start out that great, but a double play and then a strikeout. Our Geico quote book comes from Kevin Hart tonight. The harder you work at stuff, the more success you have. It's a result of a lot less thought and being able to trust your body, trust your stuff, trust your mechanics. I haven't been able to do that in a while, and I felt like I did that a little bit better on Wednesday. That was against the Dodgers when Kevin Hart had arguably his best outing as a Pirate. Pirates ended up losing that ball game 3-1. Dodgers hitting 2 home runs in the game to outduel the Bucks. The Pirates are in every game there in Los Angeles against the National League West Division leaders.
That's such an interesting subject, to trust your athletic abilities, your instincts, your good stuff. You know, it's almost like breaking scar tissue sometimes. Some pitches are, if I throw it over the strike zone, they're going to hit it. Well, boy, you got to get rid of that. You can't be afraid of the bat.
So Garrett
Your
Jones
instincts.
facing a new pitcher now. Cesar Ramos, left-hander. Greg Burke had a good inning, clean inning, striking out 2 in the 4th.
There's the entire program for Wednesday against the Diamondbacks for Mr. Ramos. You almost get the idea Bud Black wants to see lots of pitchers, because if he was really getting down and dirty with this ball game, Burke would probably still be out there with a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts.
3-1 to Jones. And the count goes full. Padres haven't been that bad in the second half of the season. Since the 28th of July, they've gone 28-19. So nearly 60%. It's 5th in the major leagues, 3rd in the National League, and 2nd among the National League West teams.
Yeah, we're doing this without Brian Giles. Brian on the disabled list. I think a knee problem for Brian.
3-2. This one is struck pretty well to right, but coming over to make the play is Will Venable. 1 down. Jones, who hit the wall double in the 2nd inning in that same direction, gets good wood on this one.
Yeah, there's no flies landing on this one as the fly gets out there very quickly. That ball right on the button, didn't have time to sink down in front of Venable. Hear the crack of the bat all the way up here.
Ryan Domit batting right-handed for the first time in the ball game. This one down to 3rd, backhanded by Headley, and Domit is out quickly. 2 down. Chase Headley makes a good play here.
Backhand side, and then it's easy.
Chase Headley, you know, he was the valedictorian of his high school class. Chase Headley in Fort Carson, Colorado, which is the Army base down near Colorado Springs. Valedictorian.
Impressive stuff.
And he went to the University of Tennessee. He was a first-team all-academic guy there. So the Pirates have Ross Ollendorf as a brainiac, and Padres actually have a couple guys. They got the Ivy Leaguer Chris Young, and then Chase Headley, also a very smart guy.
It almost sounds like he's from an academic family. Chase Headley. I mean, that's a smart name. It's not like Brown or.
Well, I think you'd expect to see him playing tennis or something in one of the country clubs.
What do we got here, folks?
There's Brown and Walk right there. Greg Brown taking an inning off. Is that This one to center field. Eckstein not going to get it. And another base hit for Lastings Millage. Millage is 2 for 2 with an RBI tonight.
Just enough strength to get it over the head of David Eckstein. Off the handle, but it's out there, shown by our Southwest field cam. Was somebody saying that tomorrow is officially Pirates Day? Maybe that's why those guys are walking the aisles. It's an official Pirates Day. Nothing to do with Pittsburgh, just the old Pirates.
Millage, an easy steal of second base. Lastings Millage with a super jump.
Yeah, when you get about 8 steps under you before the pitch is released, you should steal second base. So the Pirates maybe quietly trying to manufacture a quick point after 2 quick outs. Brandon Moss has had a couple of at-bats, good ones. stung the ball for a triple and then hit a line drive to left. That first ball he hit, the triple, there's a little area under the padding just before you get down to the dirt where the concrete is, and that's exactly where that ball hit. Took a huge roll back toward the infield. Allowed him to get into third base very comfortably.
And Millage is going to go to third on the play, but Moss is out and the inning is over. So a hit, one left at the end of 5. 3-1 Pirates. Sure, that will be a very interesting press conference later. Anyway, first pitch of the top of the 6th has popped up to shallow right. Will Venable makes the catch. Of course, they're playing off Serena Williams' recent scenario at the U.S. Open. She was disqualified on match point, serving with a foot fault.
What are you going to do?
I think that's the equivalent of maybe balking in the winning run in a championship game as a pitcher. That's probably the equivalent.
I don't know. I've never watched tennis.
Then trust me, that's what it is.
I trust you. I trust you. I'm with you all the way on it.
So Venable's out. You didn't miss that.
I have watched tennis. Of course I did.
You saw that story, though, didn't you?
I did. Big story.
How could you not? Came on right before the golf highlights. So how could you miss it?
That was similar to that Casey West or whatever that happened at the awards. Some guy.
That would be
Casey West.
Kanye West.
Oh, okay. So,
you were thinking of Casey and the Sunshine Band. I'm sure that's.
Yeah. Casey and the Sunshine Band would have never did what Casey West did.
Kanye West had to apologize to everybody. 2-1 pitch outside.
Who was up there getting was it Doris Day getting the award up there?
It wasn't Doris Day. It was Doris Day lookalike. It was
Loretta Swift.
What's her name? The country.
Oh.
Taylor Swift, the country music artist.
Yeah.
What a play by Garrett Jones, and Charlie Morton finishes.
Pick it, Garrett. And then along came Jones. Nice job by Garrett Jones going to his side and taking that bullet. And then it's just a matter of Charlie making another trip over to first base. 3-1. Beautiful.
Garrett, no relation to George Jones. It's a great 1-2 right there. 3-1 goes the put on.
Yep.
And 2 men are down in the Padre half of the 6th. Singing voice is good still, Steve.
Yep. Along came John. I think that was a Coasters song.
Was it? Who sang Dead Skunk in the Middle of the Road?
Loudon Wainwright Jr.
No relation to Adam Wainwright?
No. You're in your jukebox extra. You're in the top of the 6th.
Nick Huntley, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's had a pair of doubles tonight. Batting for the 3rd time against Charlie Morton. And the pitch. This one just foul past Neil Walker at 3rd. Charlie Morton looked like he was going to struggle in the 5th. Got out of it thanks to a double play that he finished off. Ryan Webb starting to loosen for San Diego. Gave up the 1 run in the 1st inning. Cabrera had the double, and then he was driven in by a sacrifice fly from Adrian Gonzalez, and that's all the Padres have been able to muster.
Charlie heading in on his 100th pitch. He's scheduled to bat 3rd.
Strike 3 call.
Get back to you on that as he shuts him down at the top of the 6th. Still 3-1 Padres as you watch Charlie Morton work with the hook. Nicely done.
Morton pouring more salt on the Padres' wound. Sacrifice flies driven in San Diego's only run. Brandon Moss on a 3-2 pitch hit a triple, his 4th of the year. Charlie Morton, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk.
1 run allowed, most important of all. Just 1.
And Morton is due to hit 3rd this inning, as you pointed out last inning. Neil Walker starting things off here in the last half of the 6th.
And I'm wondering, you know, I look out at the Pirate bullpen, and there's a cast of thousands out there, and Jeff Carson's was throwing, but now it's pretty quiet in spite of the heavily populated area. So I wonder if Charlie might be given the opportunity to go 1 more.
Joe Kerrigan and John Russell talking about the situation. As Joe gives his report on the condition of his pitcher to the manager.
But the important guys in the background there, Brad Henderson, Pirate trainer.
And that's one thing to consider, and one thing that's going to be talked about if it hasn't been already in the next few days. With Ross Ohlendorf going tomorrow. Tomorrow could be Ross's last start of the season. It's not definite yet, but they want to shut him down early because of an innings count.
So what would he miss one start? Would have been just 1 more anyway, right?
Walker goes down on strikes. And they're also considering shutting down Kevin Hart at some point because of the number of innings he has pitched this year throughout the entire season. So, in the background there, Garrett Jones showing Brad Henderson his right shoulder.
Wonder if he might have done a little extension work on that fine pick he made on that smash last inning.
Cesar Ramos delivering to Ramon Vasquez. We just saw Neil Walker. It's difficult, I think, too. You look at Brian Bixler when he was called up first, most recently before the September 1st call-up. He went down for a day or two, then came back. But he had a 15-game hitting streak going. Vasquez grounds out, and Morton will come to the plate. And then Walker was hitting the cover off the ball through the month of August, and he comes up to the big leagues, and he's got to sit. So it's tough for those young players who are getting those everyday at-bats, who are hitting the ball really well. They come to the big leagues, and there's no room for them to play every day.
But they won't trade that in a minute for the opportunity to get here. But it is, yeah, it's almost like catch-22. But you want to get here and you want to play to extend what you've been doing down there. But doesn't always play out that way.
And Charlie takes inside. Morton 0 for 2. And the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. And tomorrow is a 12:35 game. It's a Saturday matinee. A day game again on Sunday. And Morton lifts this one in the air to right. Venable corrals it, and that does it. Pirates gone in order in the 6th. Here, taking one away from Macias again. Coors Light Freeze Camp brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Garrett Jones looks okay.
And so does Charlie Morton. After giving up the run in the 1st inning.
So John Russell electing to keep Charlie Morton out there to start the 7th. And he will face Tony Gwynn. A pinch hitter, Edgar Gonzalez, the brother of first baseman Adrian, has a bat. He's out on deck. And then the top of the order, Everett Cabrera. So Gwynn will look at the 99th offering from Charlie Morton tonight. It's ball 1.
Victimized once again by the snug tight zone, or strike zone. Tight strike zone.
There you go.
Yeah, get it.
And Gwynn bunts this one foul. In a case of irony, a couple of years ago, 2007, remember when the Colorado Rockies went on their great run at the end of the 2007 season? Gwynn was a member then of the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, the Brewers and Padres played on the last day of the season. The Brewers beat the Padres. The Padres fell into a tie with the Rockies. They had to play that extra game. It was Tony Gwynn's RBI single for the Brewers to help beat the Padres, his dad's former team. Then the Padres ended up going and then losing that extra game. And now here he is in his hometown.
Oh, the irony.
For his dad's team. Two balls and 2 strikes to Gwynn. And Tony Gwynn Jr. wearing number 18. Of course, his dad's number 19 retired. And Tony Sr. said he would have given permission for his son to wear his number if he wanted to. That's a lot of pressure, I think, in your own town. You're the son of Mr. Padre playing in the outfield. And if you had to wear his same number, it would be even more pressure. 2-2 pitch is high, 3-2. So full count on Tony Gwynn. And Morton's payoff pitch to Cedeno. He's got him. One down in the 7th. Here's Edgar Gonzalez.
Well, we were talking early in the game, Tim, about Charlie Morton. Last 4 starts, one of them he got knocked around, but 3 of the 4. If you can do 3 out of 4 on a regular basis, you can be okay. So this might take his nice run to 4 out of 5. We'll close the deal here in the 7th inning. Gave up the run in the 1st inning. All zeros since for Charlie Morton.
3 runs on 5 hits for the Pirates. 1 run on 6 hits for the Padres.
If indeed Charlie Morton and Kevin Hart are auditioning for starting rotation jobs, well, Charlie didn't hurt his chances tonight, or at least hasn't to this point.
Another one to shortstop. High bounce for Cedeno. And there are 2 left. Here's tonight's Plays That Made You Smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. And Charlie Morton contributing as Charlie hurried to get over to first base to complete the double play. And then got only looking to end that inning. So those are the plays that made you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. Chase Headley going down on strikes after Adrian Gonzalez hit into his 23rd double play of the season. And this one to the right side.
Nice job, Charlie.
Charlie Morton dials up 3 ground ball outs. It is stretch time at PNC Park, middle of the 7th. The Pirates lead it 3-1. Had a nice night. Very nice night. His longest outing since he pitched 7 against the Giants on the 18th of July.
Yep. Well done. Nice finish. Got some key outs. You talked about those smiles, the Aspen Dental smiles, but I also had a circle around his strikeout of Eckstein in the top of the second inning when the Padres had loaded the bases with 2 outs. Struck out David Eckstein. That's the easiest thing to do. Put a 0 up on the board and never look back. Ryan Webb, the rookie over from Oakland, middle part of the year, comes on to become the 4th pitcher of the evening for the Padres. Joe Kerrigan, Morton, standing in back of Carlos Garcia. Remember Carlos? All-star second baseman for the Pirates way back when.
There he is.
And moves around with the Pirates minor leagues infielders. Carlos Garcia, good player.
He could pick it.
Yep.
Good man. Andrew McCutchen quickly 0-2. Looking at Ryan Webb, the pitcher for the Padres. Steve mentioned came over from the Oakland A's for Scott Hairston. That was on the 5th of July. That's when that deal came down. 6'6" and 214. Born in Clearwater, lives in Palm Harbor, Florida.
A couple of scoreless innings for Cesar Ramos. Again, 2 different ball games. You had the first inning, and then you got the rest of the ball game. 4 runs scored early, 1 by the Padres, 3 by the Pirates, and nothing since.
This one back to the box and a base hit. McCutchen has himself another multi-hit game.
And I'll bet you 2 nickels that Andrew McCutchen takes off from second base. 3-1 ball game. Pirates looking for a little more. He's got a rookie right-hander out there. We'll wait and see.
Visit the official online shop of the Pittsburgh Pirates at pirates.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the pirates.com shop. Plenty of good stuff, too.
Padres thinking along those lines. Thinking Andrew might take off.
Cedeno looking to contribute offensively tonight. He's grounded out 3 times.
He can ground out again if it's in between that first baseman and second baseman.
And that's where he puts it. So he'll sacrifice McCutchen in the scoring position. 1-4 goes the putout, with the second baseman Eckstein covering. So McCutchen safely at second base.
I told you he'd be at second.
You knew it. Jesse Chavez, who is up and starting to throw for the Pirates. On the recent road trip to Los Angeles, that was home for Jesse too. He grew up just about 40 miles away from Los Angeles. A lot of family and friends were there to see him play. So Garrett Jones will be intentionally walked. With 1 out, the Padres will walk Jones, put the forced play back on, and get to Ryan Doman.
Well, the Pirates had to know that this was going to happen if they sacrificed McCutchen over to second base.
They figured they'd take their chances with 2 on and 1 out. Ryan Doman batting left-handed. Keep in mind the power number for Ryan Doman as far as the home run is concerned. 8 of his 9 home runs have come from the left side of the plate. Well, if you miss a big play from tonight's game, we've got the perfect solution for you. You can catch Pirates Instant Replay. It's all the runs, hits, and action from this game in just 2 hours. Pirates Instant Replay tonight at 11, right here on FSN. Pitch to Doman, a strike on the outside corner. Doman tonight walked and scored in the first inning. He's flying out and grounded out. Well, McCutchen at second, Jones at first. Good speed on the base paths. And he is behind in the count 0-2 against Ryan Webb.
And these folks seen a good ball game tonight, and a nice turnout on a Friday night late in the season here at PNC Park. Nice turnout.
26,178. Fastball inside. He's got some weight on that fastball.
95 miles an hour.
So Doma trying to run into one now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he does. Left center field. McCutchen's going to come in. Jones will go to third. An RBI single for Ryan Doma. It's 4-1 Pirates.
Strategy looking good right now as the Pirates have increased the lead and they're still in business.
RBI number 32 for Doma.
Another good night working for Andrew McCutchen. 2 out of 4 with a couple of runs scored.
It's one of the great stats that I think people overlook. You talk about batting average and home runs and RBIs. How about runs scored?
Because that's how they keep track of the
Aren't
standings.
you supposed to get runs to win ball games?
Yeah, that's how they work the standings in tomorrow's newspaper.
So guys like McCutchen, guys like Millage, they are going to be counted on to score runs. And I think from the leadoff spot, and I know you'd agree with this, that's probably one of the most important stats is not only getting on base, but coming around and scoring. It's one of those obvious things that I think gets overlooked. And they got Jones hung up. So Jones running on contact, thrown out 1-2. Safe at first base, and the fielder's choice is Millage.
Underhand toss to home plate. Takes care of that play.
Well, nowhere to go for Jones. 2 out, 2 on for Brandon Moss, who's made pretty good contact here tonight. He has a triple and 2 runs batted in. Jones talking to Gary Varsho, bench coach. So Moss waiting for the 0-1. That goes to the backstop, and everybody moves up. Doma down to third, Millage over to second on the wild pitch by Ryan Webb.
And you might wonder about the actions by Garrett Jones. Did he just run into an out? No, that's usually called from the bench. They'll relay that information to Tony Beasley. He'll let the guy at third base know any ball is hit, he's out of here. And sometimes you just get caught like that with a little tapper back to the mound. If it's anywhere else but there, then you score the run. Simple as that.
Here's the 1-1. The inside.
Anywhere on the ground, that is.
.250 with runners in scoring position for Moss. Starting in right field tonight. Now the stretch, and Webb's 2-1. Count even 2-2. Off the foot, it looks like. Instep, huh?
Well, bounce back up and hit him inside the knee, maybe a little bit. Big chance for the Pirates here. They're looking good, but 2 more would look great. You love 4-1, you'd love 6-1.
And this is a slow roller to the right side. Gonzalez handles it himself, but the Pirates managed to get one across on 2 hits. Ryan Domet. They intentionally walked Jones to get to Domet, and Domet drives in Millage to make it a 4-1 Pirates lead here at PNC Park. Lefty.
There's something very wrong with his neck, though. Looks like it's separate. Well, I guess that's by design. That's why it bobbles.
His doesn't bobble.
Yeah, let's hope that Jesse doesn't bobble this 4-1 lead the Pirates have as he comes on to work here in the 8th. The staff leading 68th appearance for Jesse. Been very good last 3 appearances, according to the Pirate notes. Not giving up a run or a hit. Let's hope the streak continues.
Chavez facing David Eckstein.
Charlie Morton can win it, cannot lose it. Very much a quality start for Charlie. 7 innings, a run on 6 hits, walked 1 batter, and struck out 4. Well done.
2-0 to Eckstein. Chavez out of San Pedro, California. 26 years of age. Born in Victorville. A little bit more inland. He was actually involved in the Kip Wells deal. Came over from Texas.
One of the various Kip Wells
deals.
One of the many.
But I don't think that when spring training began, Chavez had any idea he'd be leading all rookie pitchers in appearances.
I think you're right.
Eckstein will take a strike count, full 3-2. Good line on Charlie Morton tonight. 7 innings, 6 hits. Those were fairly well scattered. Gave up the 1 run. Walked 1, hit 1. 1 hopper to second. And Ramon Vasquez throws out David Eckstein. 1 away in the top half of the 8th.
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 outs. 10 consecutive outs. I'm counting the double play. I always do.
Sure. And when it all began was with this man, Adrian Gonzalez, back in the 5th when he hit into that double play.
And that was a big one, too, because they'd really gotten something going. The base hit and then the hit by pitch of Eckstein, so they were in business until the double play.
Padres
circle around that one. Double play and then the strikeout.
Padres had the tying run on at that point. And Gonzalez skies this one to shallow center. 2 down. Chavez 2/3 of the way there in the 8th.
Yeah. Well, you look at this inning, it looks very innocent, 2 up, 2 down, but getting Eckstein, that is big, because if you don't get him, then you bring the big guy to the plate. Now you one pitch can put them within 1 run. So the whole thing looks a whole lot more comfortable right now with 2 outs, nobody on. And as that insurance run does too. Pirates tacked on.
Chase Headley 1 for 3. Padre third baseman batting with 2 outs. And now behind in the count, 0-2.
Well, when Chavez pulls the string, throws something other than that 94-95, gets it in a good spot, I mean, that puts him in the driver's seat. Goes back again with the off-speed pitch. Now he has shown him something downstairs at off-speed. Don't be surprised to see 94-95 up at the top of the strike zone or above. See if he can get Mr. Headley to chase something upstairs. Yep, that's, yeah. The old pitcher's handbook. Show him something soft downstairs, come back upstairs to the high heat and see if he'll go up the ladder with you.
And the 2-2 missing. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mondoma just flashing all the fingers there in that 2-2
change up. Yep. Wiggle change. That's how they always described it.
3-2 is pulled foul.
I'm surprised that contact did not cost Mr. Headley a bat right in on the hands. Might have been ball 4, but too close to take.
Here comes the 3-2 again from Chavez. Just missed. 2-out walk.
I'm liking that extra run a lot right now.
It's big. 3-run lead's better than 2.
Well, they fooled around with him. They got out in front 0-2, and then the off-speed stuff and the high fastballs, and wound up losing them.
Here's Will Venable 0 for 3. 2 flyouts and a ground out. And he looks at one low, ball 1.
They're really featuring this off-speed pitch with a guy that throws 94-95 with a 3-run lead. Interesting.
Joe Kerrigan has a plan for every pitcher. And that's one of the things they talk about often, sticking to the plan, being consistent, getting the early strike, but got the early ball that time on Venable. Rich Donnelly on the left and Joe Kerrigan in the middle, Gary Varsho on the right. There's the strike, 1-1.
Regardless of the plan, I don't think you want to get too far away from 94-95 mile-an-hour fastballs. I hope they're a big part of the plan.
Two on 1. Well, the inning started off harmless enough. Eckstein, a bouncer to Vasquez at second. Gonzalez, a lazy fly ball to center. And then Headley walked. So 2-out walk. Chase Headley at first. The 2-1 pitch to Venable. Now it's 3-1, and Chavez throwing more pitches than he'd like to in the 8th.
Well, there are times as a pitcher you can get a little anxious. You get 2 quick outs, and then you just assume it's automatically going to happen. You got to put a little lid on it. You got to finish it off. You got to finish off these innings.
Full. And Headley will be running with the pitch. So wraparound weekend series. Pirates will play 4 with the Padres, including Monday. Doma tells Jones to back up, not hold him on here at 2 down. So the payoff pitch coming from Chavez. Runner goes. Inside, ball 4, and now the tying run coming to the plate. Let's take a look at the road ahead. Tomorrow 12:30 start, Sunday 1:30, Monday the night game, and they wrap around. That's back on FSN. Tuesday the Cincinnati Reds come in 4-3. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the day game Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. After all that, it's 4 with the Dodgers. So last homestand of the season, believe it or not. Padres, Reds, Dodgers. A lot of baseball still to be played here at PNC Park. And right now, Jesse Chavez has one job to do, and that is to get out Drew Macias with 2 on. Macias representing the tying run in a 4-1 ball game, top of the 8th. Strike 1. So following the visit from the pitching coach, he gets that strike delivered. Now he's ahead 0-2.
Couple of fastballs.
You like him sticking to that fastball rather than the off-speed stuff?
Well, not all the time, but I don't like to get too far away from it because it's so good. It's a good one.
Chavez has a live arm, no doubt. Left fielder Macias waits. 0-2. 1-2. Good velocity on that one. One-two pitch. Right at Garrett Jones, and that takes care of business in the top of the 8th inning as Jesse Chavez gets out of it. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th, and we come back 4-1 Pirates.
Is ready when you are. Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on.
Another meeting in the dugout. As always happens between innings. Jesse Chavez, pat on the head from the pitching coach. Well, the bottom of the 8th, along with Steve Blass, Tim Everett with you at PNC Park. Nice night for baseball. And Luis Perdomo will appear for the 34th time. And we'll start things off against Gibsonia's own Neil Walker.
Take a look at those numbers. You expect this to be a very hard thrower. 57 innings, 54 strikeouts. 10 ding-dongs given up by Luis Perdomo. 5th Padre pitcher of the evening. Tim Stauffer, the starter, on the hook.
Perdomo works out of the stretch at all times, delivers ball 1. And Walker looking for a hit. That Caps is up.
At this point, a save situation.
Neil Walker 0 for 2 tonight. Again, inserted in the lineup late. Andy LaRoche was going to start and hit second, but he was ill, and as much of a gamer as Andy LaRoche is, it must be something pretty bad to keep him out. So Walker was inserted into the lineup in Cedeno's spot, 7th in the order. Cedeno moved up to number 2. The 2-1. And then it's going to be 2-2. I won't give you the whole score and story, but the alma mater of Neil Walker, the Pine Ridgeland Rams, winning big tonight. They're still playing, but big lead.
Good.
That'll give them some solace later.
As would a Pirates win.
He still pays attention to it. 2-2. Neil Walker looking for a pitch to drive now to lead off the bottom half of the 8th inning. Pitch inside. Did he go? No. So the count goes full. Full count pitch coming. And Walker walks again. Second time he's been issued a free pass tonight. So the leadoff man is aboard in the bottom of the 8th. Sunday, the Pirates take on the Padres again. Kids Day at the ballpark. And all kids 14 and under will receive a Kids Build-A-Parrot doll, compliments of Highmark. You can enjoy the Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids get to run the bases postgame too. So make your plans and be out here Sunday for Kids Build-A-Parrot Doll Day. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. Everybody should have one of them, even if you're over 14. But 14 and under get those. Vasquez goes to bunt. There's Walker down to second. So now Walker takes second base.
As it was given to him outright, Mr. Perdomo not paying any attention at all. And I don't know if Hundley's going out and talking to him about that or whether they need to make sure they got the signals right with the man on second. But it was like a stroll in the park.
First career stolen base at the major league level for Neil Walker. Another one of those firsts. Just looked a little out of rhythm, did Hundley. You know, you get to keep baseballs and stuff. You don't get to keep the bases on your first stolen base.
No.
You can keep it on your hit, your home run, that kind of stuff, but that'll leave the base. 2-0 down to Vasquez. As he faces Luis Perdomo, the right-hander. 25 years of age from San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. 3-0. Steve Pearce will come out and hit in the 9 spot.
There's been a control issues for Perdomo. 57 innings, now 31 walks. On his way to another one.
And he delivers a strike. Perdomo in April was waived by the San Francisco Giants and picked up on the 10th of April by the Padres. This one to the right side. Gonzalez going to try for third, and Walker's safe. Good hustle by Neil Walker on the sharply hit ground ball to the right side. Vasquez aboard, so runners at the corners and nobody out.
He takes the shot there to go to third base. Close at third, but when you lose that risk, you really open the door. Now the Pirates with a big chance to add on.
Vasquez at first, and he hit this one pretty well to the right side. Gonzalez thought he had a real good chance to throw out Walker. Nice job sliding to the outside of the base.
Yep. You see that third baseman shift a little bit over toward home plate. You take the back door.
And expecting Vasquez to perhaps be on the move. There's the pitch out. Pirates is looking for some insurance here. They've just come off a 1-5 road trip where they lost 3 in a row to the National League West leading Dodgers. Dodgers with one of the best records in baseball. Oh no. You see the Dodgers come in, Steve? Wait to see their bench. Well, their bench is loaded. They've got all 40 spots in the bullpen and on the bench. And Joe Torre just has weapon after weapon to choose from. Any time he wants during the course of the game.
So he brought up the whole roster.
They got everybody, and I mean, when you add pieces like Jim Thome at the waiver deadline, rather, on September 1st. I mean, you add somebody like that, one of the best power hitters in the game.
Yep.
That's what the Dodgers have done. But they'll be in this homestand. Fun to watch. This one gets away, and moving to second base is Vasquez. And staying at third is Walker. So second and third now. And it's a 3-0 count on Pierce.
This is a disaster for Perdomo.
Huntley trying to block it. Perdomo ends up getting charged with a wild pitch. The infield comes in. Walker at third, Vasquez at second, and Pierce 3 balls, no strikes. 3-1 now. A lot of room for Pierce. Look at that room behind the infielders.
Used to be an old theory that your batting average should go up 100 points with a drawn-in infield if you make contact.
Pretty important detail.
Yeah, that you don't want to leave that out of the equation. Infielders in, there's less time for them to react. Less room.
This one will be out of play. So Pierce trying to get around on one. Pierce did hit a home run a couple of days ago in Los Angeles. He hit one in that 13-inning game on Tuesday night. It was his first at bat, a 2-run shot of the second inning. And he stays alive. Well, that was a difficult game on Tuesday night. Pirates had a good chance to win that in 13 when Brian Doman had driven in the go-ahead run, scoring McCutchen. Make it 4-3, but Andre Ethier, who leads the world in walk-off hits, did it again. It was about, I don't know, somewhere around 2 in the morning Eastern time when he did it.
But he did it.
3-2. And this one to the left side. And Pierce is gone. So 1 out. Luis Perdomo now will face Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen with 2 hits in 4 trips. He's scored twice. 29 multi-hit games for Andrew McCutchen, 4th most among all rookies. Vasquez at second, Neil Walker down at third. A strike is called on the inside part of the plate. McCutchen out of Fort Meade, Florida. Former #1 pick. And it's 1-1. You know, we heard you sing a little earlier in the telecast, Steve, but
they're not well.
Little birdie told me that Andrew McCutchen used to sing quite a bit in a choir at a church where his dad was a youth minister. This one is fouled back. Pretty talented individual here, and it's all based on speed and athleticism. Part of a 4x100 meter relay team as a freshman in high school that won the state title. He was a freshman on that team, and not a lot of ninth graders are winning state titles in that event, but he did, especially in the talent-rich state of Florida.
So many times when you make reference to the state of Florida in any sport, speed is an issue. Look at football teams. Always part of the theme.
2 on. Here's the 1-2. There'll be some speed on display tomorrow when the University of takes on Tennessee down in the Swamp. And we saw Miami last night. Give it to Georgia Tech, and again, Miami's back. They've got more speed. They have
pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But they've got, I mean, it's just speed everywhere. But yeah. Here's a 1-2. And this one hit pretty well to center. This ball going back. Win to the wall. Makes the catch. Neil Walker will tag from third. He will score. And an important insurance run driven in by Andrew McCutcheon. His 48th run batted in. It's 5-1.
And he was right on top of that pitch. If he hits it in any other part of the ballpark, he's got a 3-run home run. Hit it right on the button, but right to the 399 sign. He knows he got a lot of it. He's wondering if he got enough, and there's your answer. Yeah, there's the crack of the bat. Oh, he thinks he got it. He thinks he got it. He don't got it.
I got it.
I don't got it. But we got the Pirates an extra run.
5-1 ball game. Cedeno. He's 0 for 3 with a sacrifice bunt. Now he's behind in the count, 0-2. Ronnie doesn't like it very much. Cedeno, 3 rollouts, and then the sacrifice. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So still a chance to get Vasquez across. Garrett Jones out on deck.
We have departed from the save situation. See Matt Capps still up on the hill out Pirate bullpen. He hasn't had too many chances recently with the Pirates not handing over a lead to Matt Capps recently.
So Luis Perdomo deals 2-2. And he strikes out Cedeno. We'll head to the 9th. The Pirates with a 4-run lead. It's a 5-1 advantage for the Bucs. Good outing there. 8 strikeouts over 7 innings, and the Reds leading the Marlins 2-0.
Answer me this. Riddle me this. Haven't the umpires always taken verbal abuse?
Yes.
For the last 100 years?
I would say so.
Matt Capps trying to put a lid on this one. Pirates lead it 5-1 going into the top of the 9th inning. Morton, 7 very impressive innings. Charlie went 7, gave up a run on 6 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Jesse Chavez, an inning of scoreless relief, giving up a couple walks in the 8th. And now Matt Capps trying to get outs number 25, 26, and 27.
And Nick Hundley, first ball swinging, pops it up on a play. Again, with Capps, it's a matter of getting to work, and there have been stretches where games just haven't been situationally in his favor, and John Russell electing to not go with him certain nights when the team was not in a save situation or was trailing. So when you get out there in that save situation, you might not be in rhythm.
Good looking slider there. He doesn't get the call on.
How does that affect a closer when he doesn't get that regular work that he wants?
Well, the thing that affects him most is when he's getting out there and working when the game's not on the line. There's no safe situations. They're trained, they're developed to do that. And for whatever reason, the adrenaline's not moving as well. You're just out there, and those are the times where many closers get careless. They not only want work, they want the work that is significant. Closer, this is a different breed of cat. To me, it's the toughest job in the game. And when it's not on the line, they just don't seem to be as up for it many times. Not all the time, but there are several instances of that.
There's strike 3 called. And Matt Capps says sit down to Nick Hundley. 1 away in the 9th.
Let's see if Matt gets a call here. I thought he was going to get a call on that one slider, and now Mr. Hundley thinks that ball's too far inside.
Hundley didn't like it much. But he's out.
Mr. Hundley. A word or two to the umpire.
Fastball to Tony Gwynn is high. Gwynn 0 for 2 with a walk. I mean, facially, look at the resemblance to his dad. It's just like his dad. And Gwynn strokes this one to center. McCutcheon underneath it.
Comfortably to center.
All right, 2 down. So Capps looking for a 1-2-3 ninth. Oscar Salazar, the last hope for the Padres tonight. Pirates trying to end up with a victory here at home. Home has been good for the Pirates this year. Still above 500 at PNC Park. Pirates 36 and 34 currently at home. Trying to go to 3 games over 500 here on the North Shore. Parrots up in the perch, waiting to raise the flag. It's to Salazar, right to Cedeno. This should do it. That's the ball game. And the Pirates take game 1, 5-1. Matt Capps, a solid 9th, finishing it up, and Charlie Morton, one of his best outings of the season.
Whole lot of pitching going on for the Pirates tonight as they gave up a run in the top.